I want to get into back into the hip hop. When did you really get exposed to hip hop? Was it something that you seen on the radio, seen on TV, or heard on the radio for the first time, or was it already out into the community?
Well, I had a unique upbringing when it comes to music because between from my grandparents on all sides, all the way down to my parents. So in my house, everything was played from, Adelaide Hall, big band music, rock and roll, Motown, funk. But for me, hip hop came, I was already being classically trained by my mother. She taught me how to read music. I was learning how to play piano. I played percussion instruments. I already was writing songs, things of that nature. And when I found hip hop, it spoke to me. Actually, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, the message was my introduction in a real way. Like I like to break dance and all of that, but when I heard the message, it affected me in a way where it's like I want to write like that. I want to talk about those things. I want to address the things that's real for me. And then even still, as we was coming up, when me and Tupac got together, he was fresh out of New York, and his rap name was MC New York, and I was MC Rock T. Right, very East Coast in a sense of because that's what was speaking to me. When I found West Coast hip hop, Ice T. Um, Public Enemy had a big effect on me too. But when I found West Coast hip hop and I realized that cats that wasn't too far from my house was writing the stories that was affecting my life that I was experiencing. Um, and to be honest with you, I went professional when I saw an artist named the Mac. The Mac is where Mac Dre gets his name from. That was his big homie. And the Mac put out a record, and the record cover was so slick. It was so dope. Nobody had a record cover like the Mac in 1987, 88. And when I looked at the record and I flipped it over, the area code was 707, which was my area code. And I was like, yo, I gotta find these dudes right here, and I'm gonna have them do my record. But in the process of it, I ended up signing to an independent, and the plan was to go to a major label. During that time, the group separated. Um, Pac started working on Juice. We was still working on songs. Like we would do 24-hour recording sessions. But right before we started doing those sessions, Mac Dre came out. And I went to high school with his cousin, Carlos, a cat named Los, right? And Los would bring in these 4-track tapes that they was recording in the house. And me and Pac was recording. Pac lived in Marin City. I lived in Santa Rosa. And we would make these kind of like deck to deck tapes, low quality, but it was just us rapping over instrumentals. But Mac Dre had his own songs. And I think I heard 4 songs from his first EP right away. And I was like, bro, this dude is doing it. And we had a concert together. Our first big show was with Mac Dre. Mac Dre was already a star. He was already becoming a star. This is like 1989, early 89. And we wasn't on yet. Nobody knew who a Tupac, a Ray Luv, or nothing was. But Mac Dre was already blowing up. And Pac went to work on Juice. Um, right after Tupacalypse Now was released. When we was doing Tupacalypse Now, I wrote, we would do these 24-hour sessions, so we would write for each other when we needed to. You write, you do as much as you can, then your homeboy who you trust come in, help you finish a verse, give you a hook to the song. It's the way records was made back then. Like even as far as the Chronic, it was a group effort. The way rap albums was made. So I ended up penning his first single for him, at least a portion of it, Trapped. And that ended up going on to be his first single. Well, after that came out, when he went to go start working on Juice, I went back kind of to the block with my folks, and we hustling, and I'm writing, and Mac Dre's cousin drove through the block one day and saw me and said, "What you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm trying to, as a youngster, say, get it how I live. I'm trying to, just stay above water while I work on my career." and he said, "I'm gonna take you to meet Mac Dre." We had never met. We only knew of each other, but we had never met. And he picked me up. We went out to Vallejo, and the first day I went to Vallejo was the Mac's funeral. He had been killed in a accident. Like they was looking for somebody else, and they ended up killing this brother. And I went out to his funeral, and after the funeral, I met Mac Dre. I was in Crest Park, and he said, "Man, I heard you could spit. Let me hear something." And so I busted for him, and when I rapped for him, he said exact words: "Oh, you dope. I'm gonna take you to get a deal. I'm gonna get you a deal." 48 hours later, I had a record deal. They put $20,000 in my pocket, and it's been off to the races ever since. Nothing's ever changed since. Like it's just been straight ahead, you know. I love that brother for what he did for my family at a key time when I needed it. Really, Mac Dre was like the first person to gamble everything on me because there was other rappers from his neighborhood, and he stood up for me, took me to the table, and got me put on. Um, and that was with Strictly Business Records in the very beginning. Uh, the irony is that me, Tupac, and Mac Dre, it's not a surprise to me that they are iconic figures because back then they was iconic figures. The world just didn't know. Like some of the most loyal, dedicated, committed, hardworking. I mean, those dudes, man, both of them were destined to be giants. Like it was very clear in the beginning. Um, and for me, I've never joined another rap crew. I never like I'm still with the same cats I came to the table with. Today I am the chief operating officer of the Mac Dre estate for his mother. I work directly for her. She's the executor of the estate. So all of the Mac Dre products, everything from the beer to we could talk about NFTs in the future. We're gonna be doing NFTs on Mac Dre. Clothes, all of that came over the last few years, and we've been building it slowly but for surely. And we even got some surprises for people around the world. We usually do a Dre Day event um, once a year, and it's like a big celebration. But we're gonna set it up where the world will be able to see it. We're gonna do some stuff in the metaverse, do some pay-per-view, so people around the world can catch the wave and feel the vibe of what we're doing. So I'm still with the same cats. The Tupac family is still my family. You know what I mean? We talk to each other every day. We with each other all the time. I don't know how to join another team. I am not a free agent. you know?
Man, but that's truly inspiring, man. You done said so much. Rest in peace to the Mac for sure, because he definitely planted some seeds in you and Dre and a lot
No
of Bay
doubt.
Area cats. You know what I'm saying?